They do like sort of lift it, so you can have like a split thing, like a little bit, just a little bit.
Well, if you live somewhere where there's going to be water coming through, on the odd occasion, wouldn't you want to build something that rises up above the water and then comes back down when it goes back down? Like you'd want to build appropriate to your location. And there's a reason why the councils actually put markers beside the roads and, near rivers, and they go, say for instance, you're looking at it and it says 1.5 metres. There's a marker there. I'm going to make this absolutely clear. The reason they put that marker there is because that's where the water got to the highest point last time. All right. And every time it gets higher than that, then they raise the marker. So if you buy a nice little block of land somewhere and just next to the road, there's a marker that says 3 fucking metres, then you want to make sure you're above that marker when you build. All right. Or at least have an ability to get above that marker, aka, a boat.
It's, they,
Okay, brother?
Me? Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to hold. So I listen, and then as I
know, and you're doing like massive thinking in the background.
No,
I'm just blurting,
I'm not.
But yeah.
No, I am a bit. I'm thinking about what you're saying, but then as you're talking, I just phase into like just a dream of it. It's like you lullaby me with each thing you're talking about.
Man, if I could put some trodes in your head, and then we could be putting that in the background.
It'd be pretty cool.
Our Cheep, man, you would just get this vivid imagery going on.
So what are you talking about?
The special story that Em's portraying, or we're talking about flood areas, and
have we? When did we start talking about flood?
Well, a few minutes ago, Cyber. How about that? No. That's how dreamy you are right now.
Really?
And I love it, man. I love it because you just
minutes.
Minutes we've been talking about it.
The flood, really?
Yeah. Building in floodplains and the whole adapting to the ever-changing nature of the environmentos.
Okay. Right. I see. That's interesting. What have we thought about it so far?
Well, build above the special markers where they tell you how high it's got. Right?
That's a very good idea.
That's important. Step one.
Yeah, step one.
Let's do a Biden.
Okay.
Number one, build above that marker. Number two, build something which is going to be able to deal with whatever the environmental effect is, which is, if it floods, you want a boat.
Well, I want something that can go up to the level of
like being able to appreciate when it's not there.
Where the mark was. Wherever that mark was.
The effect isn't there yet.
No, wherever the mark was. I want to be able to go up to that mark. I don't want to have to go
Well, I've seen smart versions of it, like in floodplains in America, right side.
So the house rises.
They always build on a little hump or a hill, right? So when the floods come through, their homestead is up on that little rise, which is above where the waters would come, right? So their lands get inundated, get the good, muddy sediment dropped, the shifting of the sands and the soils and shit as happens when it floods.
Yep.
But they're above it. They got like their little, house in the little humpy bit, the hump or the little hilly bit or the, above where the environmental effect happens, so that when they experience it, they can sort of, ride it out. They've got their supplies, and when the water goes back down again, they can get back to business, managing their bit of land, picking up the flotsam and the jetsam that might arrive,
Well,
you might get presents redistributed via the elements,
netting.
Having things there to catch it.
Yeah, you want to
build up your base. Build it up so that when the raw materials come through, be able to harness them and,
instead of your
incorporate
boat, instead of your house being hit by like flotsam and jetsam, you build up a barrier, and so when that log comes, that tree's coming at you, it catches like 5-6 meters away from you in the refuse that you've gathered around.
That's it.
And provides a nice barrier. It's like helpful. You're like,
guide the little,
imagine that.
Helping you guide the actual material.
Yeah, you actually go out, you surf, not surf, but you go out on your house on the pontoon with big sticks, like those dudes with the logs back in the logging days.
Redirecting them to the appropriate positionings.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. Whoa. So you could do that.
But, as we get more and more environmental changes, we're going to have to adapt. And I think that's, the key to any
and so
anything.
You want to have like scrubbery and
being able to adapt
around your house.
Right?
You want to let that be there. So that when the floodwaters come through, you have like a collection of stuff that automatically collects. It provides the first the
first layer of where you're going to plant on. No,
that's going to like
be the protective, create the protective layer.
Yeah. I mean, you're only going to have like what?
Well, it's like having the fat. When you got the fat around your cells, that creates a protective layer.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, and you have about 9 months, 12 months, maybe max.
Just gathering, not even building yet.
Form, ready for the next.
The deflectors. That's it. Create the deflectors, and then build the dwelling with the deflectors in place. You think that if I was ever buy a property, which who knows what might happen, could win the lottery, could turn into a spaceship and just go, fuck you guys, I'm out of here. Yeah.
Well,
but either way, like. If you were smart, you'd definitely sit on the land for, a year, maybe 2, not build anything, but just watch where the elements flow.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah. So, wind comes through for the whole year, what directions the wind sort of favour, and, planting certain trees in certain areas will give you a break and, create that more of a comfort zone.
Yeah,
and the same with the water element,
exactly.
where the water flows across the property, where it pools. Yeah. taking
Studying
all
that,
those things.
walking around,
studying it. That's it.
Learning about soil type, like where the soil, where things are richer and weaker.
What tends to erode more, you know, what parts of it, you know, are more
weeds and
stable and, you know, got more base under it, you know.
The plants.
Solid base rather than the clay and the, you know.
Oh, trying to find bedrock.
Well, you know, something solid to build on.
Not bedrock,
You don't build your house on sand.
Well, no, let's just get, you'll get pulled away. It's not helpful. I mean, you'd have to build on it if you know it.